Hello friends, Satish Tiwari here from Ethical Hacking Tuition Center Jaipur, and you guys are watching my YouTube channel /u.in. Today in this tutorial we are going to learn how to configure Telnet server on the Linux machine. For that purpose I am using RedHat Linux. Okay, so this is my RedHat Linux. You can check the IP address of this Linux machine, that is 192.168.29.116. So this is the IP address of my Telnet machine. Before that, you must understand why we use Telnet. Telnet is used for remote login. Suppose you have a company that is running in USA. So there is a company running in USA, and your clients are from Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Australia. Okay, so these countries. So you can remotely, if you want them to remote log into this server, okay, so your clients can remotely log into the server, and they can work for them. And they can remotely log in with the help of Telnet server. Okay, so Telnet server provide you remote login service. So I suppose this server is in USA. So suppose this server is in USA. Okay, and this you have a username, suppose Satish, and the password for this user is 12345. Okay, so the user is on the server. The user is on the server. The location of the server is USA. The client somewhere in India, and this machine is Linux machine. This is RedHat Linux machine. RedHat Linux machine. Okay, so this is RedHat Linux machine. The IP address for this Linux machine is 192.168.29.116. You can see the IP address. So the IP address of this RedHat Linux machine, which is Telnet server, is 192.168.29.116. Okay. So let's confirm. Yes, confirmed. Now this is our Windows machine. Suppose the client is a Windows machine, or client could be anyone. Okay, client could be Windows 10, Mac OS, Android, whatever operating system you are using. Client could be anyone. Okay, so client could be anyone. Now in this case, my Windows is my client machine. Now I am going to check my IP address of my Windows machine. So what is the IP address of my Windows machine? Just Windows CMD and type the IP address, ipconfig, and the IP address of my Windows machine is 192.168.29.227. so you can see this is the IP address. Okay, so let's mention the IP address of client. Client IP address is 192.168.29.227. okay, now the client Windows 10 want to remotely log into the Telnet server, and for that he needs username Satish, password 12345, and also the IP address 192.168.29.116. This is the IP address of Telnet server, remote login server. So the client can remotely log into the server. Now how to configure this Telnet server? Let's see how we can configure this Telnet server on this IP 116 IP. So I am going to show you the configuration on the Linux machine. First of all, you have to install the package for Telnet, that is yum install Telnet server. Remember, yum must be pre-configured on this machine. Okay, yum server must be configured on this machine. If you don't know how to configure yum server, you can see the video in the playlist how to configure yum server or package management in Linux. So yum server -y, you run this command, this will install the package. Done. Now the first step has been done, package installment. Now the second step is go to the configuration file of Telnet. The configuration file for Telnet is etc/gianttd.d/telnet. So as you can see, this is the configuration file for Telnet, etc/gianttd.d/telnet. Go inside this file, and here inside this file you have to make only one changes, and that is in place of yes, disable is equal to yes, you have to make disable is equal to no. So just make confirm that your disable is equal to no, and then save this file. After you save this file, you have to restart the service. Every time you make any changes in the server configuration file, you have to restart the service. Service gianttd restart, and then chk config gianttd on. We run this command, check config, so that our system, our Telnet machine keep running even after the system reboot. Okay, now let's come to the firewall. So you can flush the firewall. If you don't want to mess with the firewall, you can flush the firewall using IP tables -F. But if you don't want to flush the firewall, you just want to allow the Telnet service from the firewall, you can use IP tables -I for insert And incoming connection, you want to incoming connection, so input for incoming connection -p, then port TCP port. Now the destination port, you want to allow, destination port is 23. The port number for telnet is 23, so I have mentioned here 23 port. Then -j and then accept. It means I have accepted. So I have allowed telnet connection for remote users. It means now remote users can, the clients can remotely log into my system using port 23, which is telnet service. Okay. So I have allowed this from firewall. So now firewall will not stop the clients from logging to my system. Okay. Now you can save the firewall rule, service IP tables, save. Okay. And after that you have to restart the service IP tables, restart. Okay. So reboot the service, done. Now check the IP address again, if config 116. Now the telnet server is done. Let me run the history command. So you can see I have started telnet configuration from line number 4. Line number 4 to install the package. Line number 6 configuration file of telnet. Line number 7 service restart. Line number 8 check config JTD on. Line number 10 I have allowed telnet service from the firewall. Line number 11 save the firewall rule. Line number 12 restart the firewall. Okay, and that done. Now you can go to your Windows machine and you can enable telnet. How to enable telnet? You have to go to the control panel. Open the control panel here and then go to programs, then go to turn Windows features on off. From here you see the telnet client option. So you can see telnet client option here. I have already enabled this service. If you have not checked this service, you have to check this on. Okay, and then click on OK, and this will install telnet inside your Windows machine, telnet client machine. So now you can open the command prompt cmd and now run telnet and the IP address of server, that is 192.168.29.116, and here it is asking the username. So let's add the user here. So I am going to add the user add Satish, and the password for Satish user is suppose 12345 12345. Done. Now the client can log in with Satish user, Satish, and the password 12345. Enter. Done. Now you are remotely logged to the Windows machine. You can run the Linux machine command. You can see, you can type whatever you want, and now you are inside the Linux machine. The system admin can trace you that who is logged into his system by running who command. Simply who command. Who command will tell him that okay, Satish user is remotely logged into his system, and through which IP 192.168.29.227. So 29.227, this is the IP address of your Windows machine, client machine. So the client machine IP address has been revealed using who command. So we have successfully connected. We have successfully done this lab. We have logged in from this machine, this Windows machine, to this Linux server using telnet. Remember, telnet is used for remote login service. Okay. Similarly, apart from telnet, we have another service also known as SSH. Okay. So telnet and SSH, both services are used for remote login. Telnet works on port number 23, while SSH works on port number 22. After this video, I will upload the next video on SSH server, how to configure SSH server and how to remotely log in through SSH server in the next video. Okay, so if you like my videos, just keep watching, keep liking, keep sharing. Thank you for watching.